up. Oh my god, that took for freaking ever. Can't believe it took me like half an hour to get this up. So fucking annoying. I just want to tear my fucking hair out with this. Midnight Breaker. I don't think I've ever seen you around here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I don't know. What's up with you? Anyway, it's Saturday, and tomorrow is Sunday. That is obvious. Come on, I don't have time for this. I've already lost half an hour. Not that anyone cares. I'm so mad right now. I'm so mad. I tried so many times to get this stupid stream up and running. The webcam would not turn on, and it was so annoying. I finally restarted my computer, and then it decided to frickin' work. No. I am going to stream. I was going to start the stream even if it killed me. I was dying of laughter earlier because my aunt and my cousin came over and helped us sort through some containers down there, so it's a little bit cleaner in there now. And gosh, we had a bunch of dumb laughs with each other. Like, we were laughing over the dumbest things ever. And it's completely normal for us, too. Yeah, okay, you know what? Screw you, ruler. Hello, Lydia Sanchez. Oh, no, it's alright. Crash your point. Yay, you made it this time. That's good. Always don't like it when no one shows up. So right now, I am working on coloring my two sides of the same story page. What's happening right now on this page is that Lammy has been discovered by Flippy, and now she is basically getting up and running away. If you're wondering why, well, it's a long story, but long story short, she basically heard in what the predicament is and basically what would happen if Flaky were to be rescued. And, well, she and Flippy haven't exactly had a lot of time to get to know each other, and, well, she's somewhat nervous around him, and... Hey, Jack. Hey, Rose Gold. And she just doesn't know how to react right now. She got really scared. So that's why she's just getting up and running away. I've also been trying out some new techniques with eye shapes, so it looks pretty good. I also hate sometimes when I forget to draw eyelashes on the female characters, because I'm very used to drawing Flaky, and Flaky doesn't have any eyelashes even though she's a girl. But, you know. Gotta be extra careful with the Sharpies, because they're permanent. Justice Sanchez. Justice is the name of a store that I used to shop in as a kid, or as a preteen. It's full of sparkly, girly stuff, like cute little emoji earbuds and cute, sparkly outfits with sequins on them and everything. I had a lot of fun shopping there when I was a kid, when I was in my girly stage. I don't think my sister will ever grow out of her girly stage, which is good for my mom because I guess she's like, finally, I have a girly daughter. Not that I wasn't girly when I was young. I was actually pretty girly. I put on makeup, dresses, wanted to look fancy, blah 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 blah. But now I'm just more of a sophisticated, independent type. Yeah, I'm so sophisticated that I was talking nonsense in the car. We were driving by a store. I can't remember which one, and she said, "Ooh, there's a bench over there." And I said to my cousin, "And ooh, does that mean I can bench press?" Which I take to mean I just go up to the bench and go, mm, 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 mm. And what was I saying? Oh yeah, I said I can't remember exactly what the conversation led up to, but it all ended up with me saying the only thing I owe you is a chili pepper. And she's just like, "What are you talking about?" And I said, "I'm talking about what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like the earth exists for a reason, and the reason why it exists is because I like alligators, and because I like alligators, I owe you a freaking chili pepper." And my mom is just like, "I do not know what the hell you're talking about." And I'm just like, "Exactly, that's the point. You're not supposed to know what I'm talking about because then you'll know what I'm talking about, and I don't want that to happen." I didn't know what I was talking about. I just kept saying a bunch of random things, and it was just one of the most hilarious things ever. Not just for the day, but like for my life. I suck at drawing characters from the back. They're so like perspectives. It's all just jumbled together for me. Hi, Fem Fan Artist 4. Welcome. But enough about me. Let's talk about you guys. How's your guys' Saturday going? Because mine is going just peachy. Yes. You know, sometimes when I'm drawing, this has totally happened by accident a bunch of times, but because sometimes when I'm drawing things, I'll use different colored Sharpies. I'll make the outlines colorful, like in Happy Tree Friends and also My Little Pony, even when I'm doing human artwork. And like sometimes I'm doing different things where I'll just outline everything in black and then make it pop with my brush tool so it looks like a cartoon or something. So it looks like a professional coloring page or something, also. And sometimes I'll forget what I'm doing and then I'll just accidentally outline some things in black or in the wrong color. Like I'll accidentally outline Flaky's dialogue in green when it's supposed to be red. And, you know, just stuff like that. That's happened to me quite a few times. It usually happens when I'm distracted and I don't know what I'm doing. So that's another reason why I'm kind of afraid to, like, talk while I'm drawing during the stream because I'm afraid that I'm going to get distracted and I'm going to mess up and that's not going to look good. Because I'm trying to be the most professional artist I can be. I mean, I know professional artists probably don't draw things like Happy Tree Friends. I'm sure they have better things to draw, like sceneries and crap like that. But I just want to be the best artist I can be and make little to no mistakes. But that's impossible considering that I make a whole bunch of mistakes even outside artwork. But I think I've definitely gotten better at managing things like colors and where the freak is the pink color I need. Oh, there it is. Hey, Queen. Nice. Art trades. Oh, I'm sorry, Nala. I wish that your Saturday was better. Says there are 8 people watching the stream. That's really good. That's good. That's good. All right. Now I'm going to use lavender. That requires a lot more because Lammy is on this page and she is lavender. I wonder if Lammy likes French food. Because, like, if you guys didn't know this, those of you who watch Happy Tree Friends, Lammy's voice actress, Renee T. McDonald, she's actually French. And I think that's pretty cool. I think that although in my story, Lammy was actually raised by her family. They weren't exactly raised on a farm, but like her family had farm traits and tendencies. Like, you know, her dad had a southern accent. God, that looks weird. Her dad had a southern accent. Her mom would dress in simplistic dresses. All that jazz. I've designed Lammy's mom in the past, and Lammy does look a lot like her mom. I hadn't figured out her color scheme yet. And I can't even remember what name I picked out for her. I think maybe I'm gonna have to change her name. Because I try to put some clever metaphor or alliteration for their parents' names. Like Flippy, both of his parents' names in my AU, like they both start with an F and an L. And they're both kind of silly sounding. At least his dad's name is. Because his dad's name in my AU is Flapjack, and that's another word for pancake. But, whatever. His mom's name is Flora, in case you were wondering. Ah, come on, I missed something that I needed to outline in black. Typical. Hello, Creative Art Twist. Coco, huh? You mean like that Disney Pixar movie that is freaking awesome as heck? Has anyone ever seen any Disney Pixar movies? You know, like Finding Nemo or Coco or The Incredibles, maybe even Cars? I just recently watched The Incredibles 2, and I gotta say, it was pretty impressive. It was definitely worth waiting 17 years for a sequel. Yeah, that movie, the original Incredibles movie, that movie is like 17 years old because it was released in like 2001 and it's 2018 right now. That movie is ancient. Oh, you're Star. It's you. I'm sorry. I thought you were someone completely different. Um, Fem Fan Artist 4. A lot of alliteration going on. It's oh my gosh, it's Bunny Balloon. We must bow in respect to this great artist. Bow. Bow in respect. Bow. Bow. I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on with me. I'm freaking insane, the brain. And yeah, I've been trying to reach you on Amino for a while, and if you have responded to me on Amino and I just haven't noticed, long story short, my phone is broken and the new phone I have won't let me go on the internet because it's a flip phone from the fucking dark ages. But hey, at least I have a computer. Anyway, how are you doing? Have you you're in college? I mean, I applied for college too. Do, 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 do. It's time for Animaniacs, and we're zany to the max. So just sit back and relax. You'll laugh till you collapse. We're Animaniacs. Come join the Warner Brothers and the Warner sister Dot. Just for fun, we run around the Warner movie lot. They lock us in the tower whenever we get caught. But we break loose and then vamoose, and now you know the plot. We're Animaniacs. Dot is cute and Yakko yaks. Wacko packs away the snack while the Clinton plays the sax. We're Animaniacs. Stuffs. I just recently sent Temmie to college because I got Undertale on my computer and I farmed with the dog residue and she completely bought it from me and I had to I don't know. I don't know what I was gonna say. I just kept selling it and then I kept reusing the dog residue and then I kept selling it and reusing it until I had enough money to send her to college. That's awesome. Okay, what color do I need next? Oh, I need all different colors next. Let's just choose one though. Oh, there's gray. I need that one. Eh, that's Avi, by the way, from Game Grumps. Dan Avedon's dad. He does that sometimes where when he speaks, he's just like eh. He just totally blanks out. No, I haven't seen Bohemian Rhapsody, but I've heard and seen all different kinds of trailers for it, and I constantly listen to Queen songs nonstop. Especially Another One Bites the Dust. That's an awesome song. Anyone else know the band Queen? Maybe you know them for the song "We Will Rock You," but you should also check out their song "Bohemian Rhapsody" and also their song "Another One Bites the Dust." I remember there was this one part in one of the previews where one of them says, "It goes on forever, 6 bloody minutes," and then one of them also says, "If it goes on for 6 minutes, if you think 6 minutes is forever, I really feel bad for your wife." You listen to Queen, Jada? That's awesome. Now, can I please find the stupid colors I need? Oh, there's green. I need green for Flippy's jacket and also the tree leaves and the grass. There's brown. I need brown for the tree trunks. I need purple, but I gotta find the right shade. Oh, there's another one. Okay, I have 3 different purples right here, and a lot of them, they look the same, right? Well, one of them is lighter than the other ones, and actually that one appears more darker. So this is the proper purple that I need. Proper purple. Alliteration. Oh boy. Lammy, where's your purple? I don't pay attention. I see. Well, I'm just gonna name off some of my favorite singers slash bands. I like Fall Out Boy, that's my favorite band. I love Gorillaz. I just recently got into them too. I was actually one of the band members for Halloween. I like Queen. I like Meghan Trainor. I like uh eh, I like gosh, what was that other artist's name that I was thinking about? Oh yeah, I like Hinder. I like 3 Days Grace. I like Skillet. I like Skrillex. I like Miley Cyrus, as weird as that is to say. I like Pat Benatar. I like what are other bands that I like? Oh, I like Justin Bieber, don't judge me. I like Ed Sheeran. I like Nate Wants to Battle. Internet musician, maybe, but still a musician. I like Anna Blue, again, internet musician. I like Juby Phonic. Her English Vocaloid covers are a freaking amazing. I like other Japanese singers that I don't know their specific names, but I know that they do like theme songs, openings, and endings for animes that I like. I like Simple Plan. That's an old band. Hey Floor, it's okay. I was really late setting up the stream anyway, because for some reason the freaking camera wouldn't turn on no matter how many times. I had to rename the stream different things. I was tempted to name it Gay Saturday Streaming. I like Starset, and I also like Breaking Benjamin. I like Nickelback. No, we're never gonna quit. There's nothing wrong with it, just acting like we're animals. It's that's called Animals by Queen. Oh, speaking of animals, I also like Maroon 5. I like what are other bands I like? I like Justin Timberlake. I like Michael Jackson. He was a legend, man. He was a freaking awesome sauce legend. I also like Weird Al. Weird Al Yankovic. Vich, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. He's freaking hilarious, and he's a really good singer too. I think he's like 50 or 60 something. Favorite actors? I don't think I've heard Nickelback's song Lullaby, or maybe I have and I just didn't know that. Oh, Ryan Reynolds. You know, he's going to voice Pikachu in the upcoming movie Detective Pikachu. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, one of my favorite actors. I like Morgan Freeman, Chris Pratt, uh I like um I like Adam Sandler, Kevin James. I like Peter Dinklage and Ray Romano. I also like Judy Garland. She's an old actress. She was Dorothy from the original Wizard of Oz movie. She actually died pretty young. I don't remember what she died of. Hang on, let me look it up. Judy Garland, cause of death. Let's see. Barbiturate overdose. Oh, it was a drug overdose. Yeah, died at the age of 47. Dang, she was pretty. She looks like she definitely is one of those classic actors. Born June 10th, 1922, died June 22nd, 1969. That kind of sucks. Oh, she actually had children before she died. I don't know a whole lot about Ryan Reynolds. I do know that he used Deadpool and everyone makes a big deal out of it. And people on Tumblr are going crazy over this Detective Pikachu thing. Even though my cousin is a bigger Pokemon nerd than me, I actually was playing Pokemon games on a Nintendo 64 when she was like really little. Not that little though, but she's 3 years younger than me, so there's definitely a gap. My cousin is like the best person ever. And she has a name unlike any other. My favorite classical music composer? Well, obviously it's Ludwig van Beethoven. I think it's really, really cool that he composed freaking music and yet he couldn't hear. He composed music and yet he couldn't hear. He was deaf and yet he composed music. That is a freaking amazing. He's like an underdog practically. Someone who's not expected to do well, but they seem to do well anyway. They seem to do well just fine. I think that's what an underdog is. Underdog is also an old cartoon. It was about a dog who was a superhero. He had cool powers like super strength, and he was really smart too, and he had cool catchphrases. There was even a live action movie, and I actually really liked it because I used to go over to my cousin's house and watch the old cartoons she had on DVD. Oh, Jack Black is an awesome actor. He made a cameo in one of the Gorillaz music videos. He was just running around pretending to play the guitar, always trying to be on the camera. No, I don't know I don't know that band, but I might have to check them out. I'd love to be a voice actress. So I finished outlining and now I'm going to erase all the pencil lines. Hopefully I can do this without crunching the paper. Also, Bunny Balloon, I started working on a new comic. It's connected with my Happy Tree Friends AU. It takes place like 10 months after the end of this comic, even though I haven't finished it yet. Um, it's basically it focuses on Splendid and Flippy and Lammy and also Flickby because like it also focuses on Splendid's little sister who has been missing for like the last 20 years. He presumes she's dead, but one day, there's a point in this comic where she visits him in her dreams and she informs him that she is still alive somewhere, but she can't tell him where and that they will meet again someday. It's kind of hard to write dialogue for her because she has what's called I know there's a proper name for it, but I can't quite remember what it is. All right, let me put it this way. You know how Scooby Doo has that thing where he's like, ruh, ruh, ruh. He replaces a lot of the words with R at the front. He Splendid's little sister, her name is Sam, by the way. Sam kind of has that same problem, except it's with the letter W. She has what's called Elmer Fudd syndrome, I guess you'd say, where she talks like hello, my name is Sam. It's very nice to meet you. And she's not doing it on purpose or anything. It's just kind of a voice thing she has. And even though she's like 28 right now and she's kind of like Eliza Doolittle in My Fair Lady, um she still has little hiccups now and then when she almost replaces a letter with W, but she quickly corrects herself before continuing on speaking. We see that in the beginning of the comic. Yeah, it's in this folder. I've only gotten the introduction chapter done so far, but I can read it to you if you want. Hey Parker, welcome. I even wrote like a disclaimer thing. I wrote disclaimer. Happy Tree Friends and its characters, such as Lumpy, Giggles, and Flaky, are the products of Mondo Media. The way they are portrayed in this comic is purely my own fantasy, and the settings they are in takes place in an alternate universe with differences that set it apart from the canon context. While help and constructive criticism is appreciated, hate, spam, and other things of that nature must not be said. Thank you and enjoy. Long live de Floof. I actually wrote that. I actually freaking wrote that. All right, you can send it to me on Amino. You can actually access Amino on a computer. Yeah, I know. Hang on, I'm gonna find out what that disorder is called. I don't know if it's a disorder. Okay, what is it called when? Whoopsies, I didn't spell when right. When you replace letters with W. Wait, is it Elmer Fudd costume? Elmer Fudd syndrome. Okay. Okay, I found it. Okay. It's called rhoticism, and it's a speech impediment. In medical context, rhoticism is the inability to pronounce or difficulty in pronouncing the sound R. Speech pathologists call the condition derotization because the sounds lose their rhotic quality rather than becoming rhotic. Rhoticism is more common among speakers of languages that have a trilled R, such as Arabic, Bulgarian, Finnish, Hungarian, Indonesian, Italian, Romanian, Russian, Spanish, and Swedish, except in the provinces of Skåne, Halland, Blekinge, Åland, and Somaliland. People with rhoticism. Jonathan Ross, Lucy Worsley, blah, 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 blah. Oh yeah, in popular culture, Elmer Fudd in the Looney Tunes. Barry Kripke in The Big Bang Theory. In the 1987 film The Princess Bride, the character known as the impassive clergyman also has problems with multiple sounds, including R and L. Yep, it's called rhoticism. Yeah, that is ironic. It's okay. I have also been depressed, but it's good to know that we're both getting through our depression. I'll read you some of this There's a man, there is a human man running up to Sam, whose face I am not revealing until a certain chapter, but we only see the bottom of her face, even though we know it's her. Princess Samantha, princess! Talk to me, Sergeant. The Earthman. Magic. There's strong signs of magic from it. What kind of magic? Soul fighter magic, Your Highness. Female as well. What part of the Earth, Sergeant Clover? Sector 047, also known as Happy Tree Town. Our forces have held off for now. We all want to know what we should do, my liege. So, get a ship ready and send a quarter of your team there. My liege? If there is an identified soul fighter on Earth, we must act. See, she almost did it, and she caught herself. Good night, Parker. Magic is foreign to the Earth, Sergeant Clover. If we don't act now, who knows what will happen. And so, as Princess of the Terrestrial Homo sapiens, I order immediate action to be taken. Yes, Your Highness. What plan of action will we take? Urgent but peaceful. And while you're there, request the presence of someone called Splendid. Splendid? But why him? Just do it, please. Yes, my liege. The door closes. She thinks to herself, after 20 years, will this finally be happening? Meanwhile, in Happy Tree Town, we see a bottle of lemon soda. Please tell me if that's a real thing. Yeah, I did finish the fan art. I don't think I'm gonna be able to color it digitally because, you know, my phone's broken. I have finished it, and I had already finished it when I showed it to you, and yeah, it does look really cool. I showed it to my cousin, and she actually thought it was really epic. Anyway, we see Lammy's hand with light blue magic around it, and she's trying to levitate this bottle of lemon soda. She's trying to train her magic so she knows how to do it better, but she accidentally breaks it, and well, she doesn't break the soda bottle, but she accidentally drops it and her spell breaks. She sighs and she feels defeated. Meanwhile, Splendid has a stopwatch and he's keeping track of how long she can levitate something in the air. He says, 5.3 seconds, a new record. Not even one worth documenting. And he says, "Aw, come on, Lammers, you're getting there." I always liked that. The whole Lammers thing. That's a cute nickname. Well, I mean, I guess Sprite kind of is a lemon soda. It's a citrus flavored soda, so it's like lemon and lime. I want some Sprite now. Aw, lambs, cheer up. I I'm okay. I just need a break. Break? We've only done this for 10 minutes. I know. I just don't feel up to doing magic today. See, she feels discouraged cuz like it's been a month in the point of this story since she discovered the powers. And hi, Miles. And she feels like she should have at least mastered the levitation thing by now, but she's still struggling with it, so she feels discouraged. He looks at her sadly, but then he gains a perky expression and then he says, "Aight then." Huh? If you're feeling bad, we can just chill. If you want, we can watch Trolls on Netflix. But won't you be bored watching a kids movie? Nah, don't worry, Lammy. Besides, I kind of like that movie. And she says, "Okay, we can drink Pepsi too, right?" And Splendid says, "Yeah, I should still have some cans left." And Lammy says, "Yay!" Look how cute she is. Look at that smile. She has such a bright, cheerful smile. I have no clue. But Christmas is coming up soon. Maybe, maybe then? I don't know. Maybe then I can get a slightly upgraded phone. Until then, I don't know. And then the elevator dings and it opens. Yeah, Splendid has an elevator in his home. Go figure. And Lifty comes in, and it's at this point in my AU where they've been dating for a little while, and Lifty has kind of moved in with him. And Lifty is very ill in my AU. Like, I didn't tell you you could fall down. He says he has some issues with his stomach and his intestines where they're very weak structurally, and if he gets too mad or too emotionally riled up in a bad way, and if he gets too stressed out, he will vomit. It doesn't matter if he's eaten or not, he will vomit, and it's not very healthy for him. Not to mention he also has depression and he has suicidal thoughts. So he often needs to go to the doctor and to the therapist in case he needs a treatment. And he also has insomnia, so he often has dark circles under his eyes. He comes in through the elevator and he says, "Hey, I'm home." And Splendid says, "Lifty?" And he says, "Yeah, it's me, Splendid." And Splendid just comes over to him with a tender face and he hugs him and he says, "Welcome home, dear." And Lifty says, "Don't call me that in front of people." Oops, sorry, love. He approaches Lammy and he has like a blush mark on his face. She says, "Hey, Lifty." "Hey, Lambs. How are you?" Fine." Splendid like gestures to where the bathroom would be. He says, "Hey, Lifty, I got your meds today." He says, "Yeah, thanks. You really are awesome, Splendid." I like to add some sweet moments in there. Remember, take 2 after dinner. I know that by now. Okay, just making sure. Lammy comes up and gives Splendid a goodbye hug later after watching the movie. And he says, "No problem, Lammy. Be careful going home, you hear?" "I will." When the elevator dings and she goes down, he smiles and he thinks to himself, "Gosh, hard to believe 10 months ago we were total strangers. And she reminds me of my little sister. It's been 20 years since I've seen her. 10 months ago, she started visiting me in my dreams. She tells me we will see each other again someday, but when will that day come? Soon, I hope. Still, I'd wait 10 million years if it meant getting to see her again." So you can see that Splendid really misses his sister. I mean, who wouldn't miss their little sister? "I miss you, Sam, wherever you are." Meanwhile, at Flippy's house, there's a little birdie perched on the branch. Flippy wakes up with a hangover on a Monday frickin' morning of all things, because why wouldn't he? And his hair is all frickin' messed up. And then he hears a voice that can only belong to his alter ego, and he says, "Well, excuse me, wuss, next time I'll get drunk on Tuesday." Flippy. "Sorry, but hellish nightmares like mine can only be numbed by alcohol." Don't give me your Shakespearean thing, dude. Nightmares. That explains why you're not in the dream realm these past few nights. So, your nightmares. What is it this time? I I can't explain it, Flippy. Why? 'Cause these ones are freaky. And yeah, and Flickby says, and they involve these weird, tall, fleshy, peach-colored creatures that seem familiar to me. Fleshy peach what? Are you on drugs, man? No! Okay, geez, just asking. You know Flaky isn't gonna be happy when she comes over. Yeah, don't remind me, Romeo. Ugh. You think she'll understand it was just a relapse? Yeah, maybe. Flaky is very understanding. Yeah, she's the best. Oh, who's Romeo now? Oh, shut up! And that's the introduction chapter. I can't believe I'm sorry. That was probably a waste of my time, but I actually really liked reading that. It's fun to read things to you guys. It's fun to just have people listen to me talk about stupid stuff. Romeo. Okay, now where'd that thing go? Come here. Oof, man, I can't lose this. This is an important art tool of mine. Okay, have I missed any pencil lines? Yes, right there. Thought you could escape, eh? Well, now you're getting erased, see? Sorry, my allergies are acting up. Face my honey roasted justice! That's Jeff Dunham, by the way. That guy is an awesome comedian. He's a ventriloquist, you know? I actually saw him when he came to my town. It wasn't this year, but it was like maybe 1 or 2 years ago, probably. It was awesome. I really liked that he had a new character, Baby Seamus, which is like an Irish alcoholic baby with a gigantic head. I remember when he first brought him out, he was babying him like, "Little baby Seamus, so cute. Goo 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 goo. Kichi 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 koo." And Seamus just frowned at him like, and he says, "Torch me like that again and I'll bite your fucking arm off." Man, Irish accents are funny. I mean, I love Jacksepticeye, so of course I would love an Irish accent. No, not like that. I mean, Jack is way too old for me. I'm not implying that he's an old man, but like, you know what I'm saying. Jack-a-boy is Jack-a-boy. Speaking of Jack, I have become interested once again in Antisepticeye, his evil persona. You're Irish, Queen? That's awesome. So does that mean that you live in Ireland, or are you just Irish and you don't live in Ireland? Ireland! I'm sorry, but Irish accents are so much fun. I don't know why, I really like accents. One of my favorite accents are New Yorker accents. I don't know what our plans for the new year is. I do know that we're gonna have Thanksgiving first, and then we're gonna have Christmas. We already have the tree set up. I'm sorry, I just get distracted by other people. Sometimes I don't know who to talk to. So what's it like in Ireland? I've heard that it's rainy there or something, or maybe that's another country I'm thinking of. So anyway, my big question is, what's it like in Ireland? Okay, there's green, lavender, brown. Go away, hair. I don't need you on my paper. This lighting frickin' sucks. I knew it! I knew it! Very nice people, huh? Well, I bet. You know what I didn't know about Irish people until much recently? Is that Irish people actually have a language of their own. I mean, I knew that Irish people had Irish accents, like top of the morning to you laddies, even though that's a stereotype in some ways, I'm assuming. But I didn't know that Irish people had their own language. I didn't know they had a language they spoke. I just thought they all spoke English and they had Irish accents. I didn't know that until much recently, so you learn something new every day. I learned it because someone in my class gave a presentation on the country of Ireland. We all had different countries that we did presentations on. I chose Japan. I went a little overboard with it, and I had like 50 something slides, which was way over the requirement. I love your OC, Skippy. Your OC is awesome. I'd love to go to Ireland or maybe Japan. I'd love to go to a lot of places. Brown, pink. Oh yeah, I need lime green. Wherever that color is. It's right there. What am I freaking talking about? I need gray too, but I don't know where it is. Let's look over on this side. Maybe I can see the cap. Bingo, bango, bongo. Oh, there's no such thing as bad luck. If something bad happens to you, it just happens. But go on. Tell us about what misfortune has befallen you. Be careful. That looks good. New Happy Tree Friends headcanon. Lumpy likes to pat people's heads to try to make them feel better, regardless of what gender or age they are. I guess it doesn't really matter what age they are because everyone just automatically looks short to him. I mean, I'm sure Flippy is a fully grown man. Would you even say man when he's actually just a bear? Okay, let's just say Flippy is an adult. But, you know. No, I haven't. But I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Someone died 2 days ago, huh? Oof, my throat feels raw for some reason. I should go get some water. But not right now. I don't feel like getting up. I just feel like being lazy. Humph. Audible humph and crosses arms. Hmm. Your grandma aunt? You mean your great aunt? Seen in Bime. No, I don't think I've heard of that person. You mean seen in Bayern? Um, is he does he by is he by chance does he by chance have dark brown hair, a beard, and a mustache, and have white skin? Because I'm looking at images right now, and apparently he's a Vine person. Is that who you're talking about? When will I get a new phone again? I don't know. Right now, my mom has a money problem. She doesn't have a job, and it's very complicated, guys. And my mom really isn't concerned with getting me a top of the line phone. Right now, the only concern, my mom doesn't get me a phone so I can do fun stuff on it. My mom only gives me a phone so I can call or text her on it so she can stay in touch with me. That's the only reason why she ever lets me have a phone, because she needs to stay in contact with me in case I need a ride or something. So right now, all she can get me is that flip phone. But I think she said maybe on Christmas she can get me a semi upgraded phone. So I don't know when I'm going to be able to post from my phone again, or I'm going to have a consistent update schedule with my art. But until then, just let's just take this one day at a time. Yeah, I need a job too. Holy crap. Can anybody find me somebody to love? That's a classic song. Now I am currently shading in Flippy's jacket with the color a green. And yeah, you're working on an animation, huh? That's nice. You miss working at Macy's. It smelled like fragrances. I think maybe my mom would like that job, considering that she wears perfume a lot. My mom wears perfume a lot because she's a smoker and she doesn't want to smell like cigarette smoke around anyone. And yet she smokes in the car, and even when I'm not in there, I can still smell the after smell of the smoke and it makes me cough. And she says I'm just being dramatic. Not to mention, she also smokes while she's pregnant. She smoked while she was pregnant with me, and she smoked while she was pregnant with my sister, and now she is smoking while she's pregnant with her third child. Oh, yeah, Bunny Balloon, my mom is pregnant with her third child. I hate cigarettes too. I'm allergic to them. Just thinking about them makes my frickin' throat hurt. I also use green to shade in the leaves, I guess you'd say, on the trees in the background. Backgrounds are a devil. Anyway. Hey, come on, you're not stupid. We don't trash talk ourselves here. Don't do that. I heard that when you smoke while you're pregnant with your baby, it can cause your baby to appear smaller when you're born. Or something like that. I don't know. Whatever. I don't have any other problems. I may be really short for my age, but that happens. And I might have autism, but like, whatever. My cousin has autism. Granted, his is much, much, much more mild than mine, but still. My cousin's autism is so bad. I've told you about this, but like, he can't talk, he can't walk normally, he throws fits, he still wears diapers even though he's 12. He's just very, very, very autistic. He has to use like some kind of sign language to speak and convey messages to us. I can hear my mom walking upstairs. She's been in a lot of pain lately. I think I've told you this. How old am I? How tall am I? I am 18 years old and I am 4'11". A typical 18-year-old girl would be like maybe 5'5". So what? Being short has its benefits. There are certain spaces I can fit into that no one else can. Plus, I can pass off looking really young, so I can still eat off of the kids' menu sometimes. Yeah, go ahead. Just pat my head. Make me feel like a child. Hey, careful, careful. You know, even though I can't really post art anymore, I'm just like, that doesn't mean you should stop working on art. Even before you posted art, you still worked on it. That is very true. Haha. Hi, Mom. Hey, Mom, what you doing? Hey, Mom, come here. Come here. Come here for a second. Come here.
I'm tired. I don't want to come over there.
Guys, look. She's pregnant. She's tired. It's been a long day. Oh, I love that vine. I don't know if you could see her like, you could probably see she had a round belly. I give her more belly rubs than her boyfriend does. Not to brag. Hey, it's not weird. She's my mom. I'm her gal pal. The older you get, the less she seems like your mom and the more she seems like your friend. On school nights, I try to get to bed by 10, but it's Saturday, so I can stay up later. That doesn't mean you have to stay up as late as me, though. What am I working on? Nothing's wrong. I'm working on my Happy Tree Friends fan comic. It is called Two Sides of the Same Story. It started off as just a mini comic, but then I started getting ideas, and pretty soon it became a story, and later on an alternate universe. I don't think I've seen that Vine. I know my mom is like, in previous streams, like, I've talked about my mom like she's kind of like a villain, but like, that's just me ranting. My mom is actually a very, very awesome person. She works really hard, even though she doesn't have a job. She does work hard to make sure her kids have bright futures, and she makes sure to remind us to do our chores, even though my sister refuses to do them because she's lazy and a hypochondriac for a 6-year-old, nonetheless. And she puts up with a lot of stuff that she shouldn't put up with, like her boyfriend being an a-hole. And she also has her morals. Like, she was thinking about getting rid of the baby, but then she realized she'd have to live with the fact that she just killed a baby, so she's deciding to keep it, even though she knows it's going to be hard on our budget. And even though we've had our feuds in the past, we always do, and we love each other, and we always manage to pull through. Hmm. Yeah, autocorrect screws a lot of us over. Yeah, there's so much to my mom's story. You know, recently when we had a 4D ultrasound of the baby, which is a girl, by the way, she we drove around the town where we drove to get the ultrasound, and she showed me a lot of the places where she used to ride her bike with her friends, and it felt kind of weird to like see where my mom grew up, because you just imagine what your mom must have been like. Because when you think about your mom right now, most of you out there probably have very responsible moms who are always just like, clean your room and don't do this and don't do that. When in reality, your parents probably did a lot of the same stuff you did when they were kids, and their parents were like, don't do this, don't do that. It's kind of ironic. I think what most people need to realize is that adults are just asshole children who got bigger. Not really, though. The reason why is because adults were children just like us, and they did a lot of the same things, and now they realize they have to teach their kids not to do these things, and they're just thinking to themselves, oh boy, is this how my mom felt when I did these things and I didn't listen? Gosh, I really feel bad now for the things I did to my mom when I was little. And then your mom is just like, don't worry about it, you were just a kid, and besides, you're a much more responsible adult now. Oh, my mom is my mom is the greatest. She's the best mom ever. I know a lot of people probably say that about their moms, but I'm not talking about other people. I'm talking about my mom. I'm really sorry for those of you out there who don't have really good moms, but you know, you know what they say. My mom always says that God sends challenges to his strongest warriors because he knows that they can handle them. And if they can't, well then I don't know. Yeah. If you think about it, Our parents are not trying to take all the fun and joy out of our lives. They're trying to protect us because we might think that we're having fun, but in reality, most of the time, what we're really doing is just being irresponsible and believing whatever we hear. Like, if you want to hang out with the coolest kids in school and your parents are like, no, because they actually know what those kids are up to, then I think you should just believe them because a lot of these times, the reason why those kids are cool is because they've put themselves on such a high pedestal that they think that the rules of society don't apply to them and that they don't have to listen to anything, when in reality, they're just being a bunch of criminals. Something like that. Sometimes we have to learn it the hard way. My dream job? I definitely want to do something with art. Animation, making comics, selling prints, that kind of thing. I don't really have a set professional career that I want to do, but for right now I'm just taking one day at a time and seeing what happens on the road ahead. Okay, let's see. I definitely need gray for the sidewalks. I need. Oh, yawn. Never mind, I'm not going to use this one. I'll just look for a different line color. No, not that. Okay, I need green. Hang on. I don't completely speak a different language. I don't completely speak a different language. Like, I don't know every single word, but I do know bits and pieces of different languages, like Japanese and Spanish and, things like that. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to find the colors that I need. I need. I can hear my mom talking upstairs. I need lime green. Where is lime green? I also need. I need this color. Yay, found another color. I need orange. Hmm. Nope, I don't need blue. Gosh, this is so awkward. When you can't find the right color you need and you're on a screen and everyone's expecting you to just color the damn page. Okay, let's see. Nope, there. Uh, um, no. Nope. Oh, whoopsies. Nope. Uh, uh, um, orange. Found it. Oh, there's the lime green I'm looking for. Alright. Yes, Mom. Oof. I can't really do an art trade right now because I have no way to digitally color or post anything. I appreciate the offer, but like I kind of have certain limitations. All right. Let's color in the grass first because why the hell not? I'm green, like certain colors like green and blue have like been issues for me with coloring backgrounds and characters because you know how Splendid is like a sky blue color. Well, when he's flying and I have to color the sky and he's in it, it kind of looks like he's just blending in with the background and it's kind of a hassle. So that's why I try to like leave a border of white between his outlines and the sky or something. And I also try to use different shades of blue to color in the sky. You know, it's a lot different on traditional media. Did you know that on Splendid's Collect 'em All card it says that he's afraid of heights? And that's pretty ironic considering that he's a flying squirrel and he's a superhero and he flies up high all the time. I mean, that could just be an ironic, hilarious fun fact that doesn't really stick to how things are canonly because, you know, there's not a whole lot of continuity to the show, so it doesn't really matter. And it also says that Flippy likes to knit sweaters. Part of me wonders if he actually does like to knit sweaters. Ten people watching the stream now, huh? It looks totally different on my end, Queen. I don't know. I personally think YouTube is just drunk. I remember one time, a long time ago, my mom came home and she was drunk and she was acting like a total klutz. And she was just like, "Hey, Emily, why don't you turn on a movie?" And I'm just like, "Mom, you're drunk. You need to lay down. It's midnight." And she's just like, "No, no, no, turn on a movie." I'm just like laying her on the couch. I'm just like, "Mom, sleep." I managed to get her to fall asleep. So, yeah, that's a thing. This was at the time where we were still living with her boyfriend. I have good memories and bad memories. Like the fact that I had Netflix, and the fact that I had a house to live in. I mean, not that I didn't have that beforehand, but, you know. Coming, Mom! Yes, Mom. I accidentally left my shoes in her bedroom, and normally she doesn't really like it when we're in her bedroom, because, you know, it's her bedroom. But her bed is so comfy. She has such an awesome comforter, and her bed is so squishy. I was watching a Scooby-Doo movie in there. It's like, it was made at the time of, like, the What's New Scooby-Doo cartoon era. If you know what I'm talking about, points for you. But basically, it's called Scooby-Doo and the Samurai Sword. It's basically about Scooby and the gang. They go to Japan, and the mystery they have to solve is the mystery of the Black Samurai who's trying to get the Sword of Doom to resurrect his evil spirit or something like that. You flipped YouTube off? Good job. Good job. That's funny. That's really funny. Flickby only drinks when he's really depressed and he doesn't want to numb his feelings. And it's not very healthy for his lifestyle, considering that most often he is actually very depressed because he's constantly tormented by nightmares and his past and people whispering about him. But over time, he learns to get over it and he learns to drink less and talk about his feelings a bit more. But he does have occasional relapses. I mean, come on, everyone who's ever gone to therapy or are on a road to recovery has gone through some kind of relapse. Rome was not built in a day. I'll be right back, guys. Yawn. Sit. Oh, I love Yo Gabba Gabba. That was like my childhood. Anyways, hi guys, I'm back. I exist now. I took a little longer than usual because I went to go get water. And actually, that water glass was sitting in the freezer for a while. I put it in there on purpose. Now the glass is frosted and the water is a lot colder. I love how I'm just coloring in the backgrounds first, because usually the backgrounds are like the last things that I color in. Anyway, what's going on? What did I miss? Please sum it up in at least one paragraph. No, that's not a requirement. I'm just trying to be silly. I'm doing an English paper on depression because I have depression, and I thought maybe if I did something on depression, then maybe I would overcome it or some crap like that. But honestly, every time I come into English class, I feel depressed, and I feel really tired and sleepy too, and I yawn like every 2 seconds. And I'm not even tired. I mean, I feel tired, but like it's not that I'm tired. I'm just bored in class. I only feel tired and yawn a lot because I'm bored. Because, okay, I know this is typical, but there are other things that I'd rather be doing, and if I'm doing those things even while I'm in English class, I can stay wide awake. "29 subscribers, huh, Queen? Well, I'm sure you can reach the stars someday. Something like that. I don't know what's going on. Oh, Wonder Pets and JoJo Circus were also cartoons of my childhood. I don't know about Higglytown Heroes. That doesn't sound familiar to me. Yeah, go ahead. Tell us what a song you like is. Sometimes I use different shades of gray on the gray parts. Sometimes I'll actually grab a silver colored pencil and color it in. And right now I'm just using regular gray. I'm gonna go close my door. Freak. My sexuality. Um, my sexuality is I like nice people who treat me like an actual person and respect when I'm not ready to do certain things that I'm not ready. So stop trying working. And don't blame my mom for anything. It's not her fault. She's looking out for me, and she's not just gonna let me gallop off on a school night of all things. I get it. You love me. I'm your girlfriend. But that doesn't mean that I'm all completely yours. I have other people in my life too. They're not gonna leave me alone with you completely. Isolation, that's not a thing, okay? I'm sorry. I got way too personal. Um, I don't know. I'm still confused about what my sexuality is. I've had feelings for both boys and girls. With girls, I wouldn't say it's really feelings. I guess I would just say that girls are just. I haven't had much problems with them, so I have trust for them mostly. And boys are jerks, and they don't really. All they care about is, all that. I don't know that song. Mm. Yeah, I know that. You talked about your girlfriend a bit on Amino, to me in the private chat anyway. Uh, I don't know. I've dated boys in the past, and my ex-boyfriend, the one that I recently broke up with, or rather he broke up with me, he he was really nice. Our relationship lasted for a while. But he just wanted things that I couldn't give him, and he didn't like my mom. He thought that she was always getting in the way of our relationship, and he always tried to tell me that he saw that I wasn't happy in the place I was in. And he never wanted anyone else around when he was with me. He just wanted it to be me and him. But what he didn't understand was that I was not ready for that kind of thing, and we were not going to get isolation. I get it. I love you too, but like, just because we're in a relationship, that doesn't automatically mean we have to do that. Not to mention, he was being pretty mean to my cousin before he broke up with me. He was like pulling on her clothes and repeatedly trying to get her attention. And she told him to stop, but he didn't. And he even lied to me and said she did not tell me to stop. And I said, Mikkel would not lie to me. She told you to stop. She would not lie to me about this. And I don't know what he was trying to do. If he was trying to get her attention, trying to stimulate affections from her, that would not work. Because my cousin, she is a lesbian. She does not like men. Hey, Toffee the dingo. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't be ranting to you guys about my personal life. It's just, I don't understand. I don't understand men. It's just not freaking fair. I don't understand. Really. I don't want this. Calling the world from isolation. 'Cause right now that's the ball where we've been chained. And if you're coming back to find me, you better have good aim. Should be true. I want you in the picture, that's why I'm calling you. Calling you, I'm the lonely twin, the left hand. Reset myself and get back on track. I don't want this isolation. Just see the state I'm in now. I don't know what MCR is. Sorry. I believe you, Crusher Point. And thanks, Floor. It's so hard for people, not just me, to focus on good parts of their lives because the bad parts of people's lives can be very strong and it can grab a hold of them. And that hate grips them like poisonous claws. And it kind of makes them, I mean, it really makes them just, it, it can turn them into bad apples. And it can also control what they do in their life. And that's not a good thing. Right. Besides your My Chemical Romance. Oh, that. Yeah, I think I've listened to them like once or twice. I hear they're like a really edgy band. I don't know. I listen to 3 Days Grace a lot more and also Skillet. I can't decide what my favorite 3 Days Grace song is. I really like Animal I Have Become. I also like Riot and I Am Machine. And I also like Never Too Late. I think maybe that's my favorite song by them, Never Too Late. Even if I say it'll be alright, still I hear you say you want to end your life. Now and again we try to just stay alive. Maybe we're turning around 'cause it's not too late. It's never too late. Yeah, that's a really, really good song. It's very emotional, and the music video is pretty crazy. A lot of 3 Days Grace songs make me feel like, I don't know, they should have a music video where one of them is in a car or something and they just get so crazy and angry that they start using their nails to rip the leather off of the car seats. That's just kind of the feel that their music gives me. It makes me feel so energized that I feel like I could literally rip the leather off of the seats of a car. Yeah, I like Hailstorm, and by that I mean I only listened to one song by them. I've actually been listening to I Miss the Misery a lot. Oh man. How does it go? I miss the bad things, the way you hate me. I miss the scream and the way that you played me. I miss the phone calls when it's your fault. I miss the late nights, I don't miss you at all. I like that kick in the face and the things you do to me. I love the way that it hurts. I don't miss you, I miss the misery. Yeah, I know Awake and Alive. That's an awesome song. Lindsey Sterling, the violinist. Yeah, I've heard some of her violin things. They're pretty freaking impressive, man. I actually played the violin in the 4th grade, but I stopped because I was too lazy to continue practicing. But the time I did play the violin, it was pretty cool. I wasn't really the best player in the group, but the times that I did have, I actually had a pretty fun time getting to know them socially, especially considering 4th grade was like a transition year for me because in the previous year I had been in a different school, and in that school I did not have any friends and I was bullied a lot, especially in the 1st grade. That's why 1st grade sends me into a cold sweat. And I need to sharpen this. And I need to sharpen this. Nope, don't fall, please. We can be friends. And when I transferred to the new school for the rest of my elementary school years, I actually got a lot better. I made more friends. I became more trusting. All that jazz. But, you know, socializing is kind of a problem for me, and it has to do with my autism because, well, what doesn't have anything to do with my autism? My socializing has something to do with my autism. That scared me. Round table roulette, huh? I've heard of Russian roulette, but round table roulette, that's a new one on me. See you tomorrow. Oh man. Yeah, I don't like bullies. Like I don't like being bullied and I don't like when other people bully other people. That's why whenever someone is mean to someone else, even if it's just for fun and games, I get all defensive even if I had nothing to do with that conversation. It's because I have been bullied so much in my life that I take it very, very personally, even when it's not anything to do with me, and even if it's not really bullying. I'm just like, stop, 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 that's not nice. And then whenever my mom is driving by and she comments about some person dressing indecently on the sidewalk and some people that are just standing there. She's just like, ugh, look at these freaking whatever people standing on the curb. I kind of theorize that my mom might be racist, but she says that I'm just defending things that I don't understand. Anyway, got the page colored. This pose was hard to draw. Why would your neighbors bully you? Yeah, okay, never mind. One of my neighbors kind of bullies me a little bit, I guess. I wouldn't really call it bullying. She just gets really cranky and mad at me when my dogs get into her yard, even though we've done literally everything we can to try and keep them out. Yes, that's true, Miles. Anyway, Queen, I'm really sorry that your neighbors bully you. Well, then they're not your friend. If someone makes fun of you, then they're not your friend. I think I told you about this a couple streams ago, but basically, there's a gaping hole in the fence in my backyard, and we have done a lot of things to try to cover it up. And the dogs just managed to get right through it, and a couple times the neighbor lady was like, she kept yelling at me that I don't know how to control my dogs. And my mom got really mad at her for making me cry. She was just yelling at her saying that she's a crabby, cranky old lady, and she said, Ed, you have no right to yell at my daughter. She is autistic. But yeah, my mom got really, really mad. She said, "You can say whatever you want to me, but I do not want you yelling at my autistic daughter." Okay. Hey Star, I don't know if you're okay with this, man, but I gave you a cameo in my comic. That's you. The hair looks kind of wild though. In this comic, you run a flower shop, and right now you're selling flowers to Flippy. Sorry about the lag if there is any. So tired. A long time. That's messed up. Like, why would someone do that? Why? Like, I don't I don't understand. I I just don't understand. I don't understand. What did we do? What did we do? Why are you picking on us? There is no reason. There is no good reason to pick on somebody. Like, why? Why? I didn't do anything. Well, all I said to you was hi. So why are you calling me a crybaby? Why are you threatening to give me paper cuts and roll me around in salt? Like, seriously, I did not do anything. Why are you picking on me? I do not freaking understand. Just pisses me off. I don't understand. Can we please not talk about this anymore? It's making me really mad. Thanks. I'm glad you like it, Star. I'm just gonna outline this page and then I'm gonna end off the stream or something. I don't freaking know. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. I hate bullying. Bullying is the worst freaking thing ever. And the worst part about it, people think they actually have good excuses. Well, that kid looks weird. That kid is so not normal. That kid acts like a freak. Oh, it's just a joke. It's just a joke. They need to toughen up. It's just. I don't fucking understand. That is not a good reason. That is just your excuse. You just want to pretend that you're being freaking funny. Yes, yes, yes. Bullying is bad. Can we please stop talking about it? Bullying is a personal thing for me. I do not want to talk about it anymore. I don't want to talk about it. Where'd it go? There it is. Oh, actually need this color for the first time in a long time. How do you open Amino on a computer? You just type in Amino on the search bar and you should get a link to Amino and you can log in. You can log in using your email address and your password, and you can actually click on your profile image and select which Amino to go to. You can look up tutorials if my instructions are too cryptic. Whatever, it's fine. Let's just not talk about bullying. Like Floor said, just focus on the good parts. Well, I'm not being bullied anymore. I mean, I am, but like it's not a constant everyday thing like it used to be. So, that's good. I need red and gray and brown. I already have gray out, never mind. Red, brown, light pink, lavender. I already have black out. What else? What am I missing? Nothing? No. I'm missing yellow. I forgot Lumpy's antlers are yellow. There we go. Thank you, Floor. Let's all just do some deep breaths. Let's take some deep breaths. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. One more time. Okay, that's good. I don't know. I don't hate anybody. Hate is a strong word. Sure, I have people that I don't really like that much, but hate, I'm not a very hateful person. And if I ever say that I hate people, then it's just my emotions going wild. I never actually fully hate someone. I just really don't like how they are and what they're doing. Like when I watch Law and Order and there's an episode going on where religion is just getting in the way of everything. But let's not talk about that, even though Law and Order is an awesome show. I'm talking about the one, the Special Victims Law and Order show with Detective Benson. I like when I do the little chibi heads inside the speech bubbles. That's very anime. Even though Happy Tree Friends isn't an anime. And I don't really appreciate people just hating on the whole humanizing the Happy Tree Friends thing. Like, whatever. All fandoms do that. And I'm not saying that, like, I don't prefer either or. It's just like, either way, it's just gonna be, you know. But I do prefer to keep them in animal form in my stories. But they do have some human-like features, like some of the girls have particular anatomies, chest anatomies to be specific. Hello, the old gamer. You're well, well, thank you. No, no one deserves to be hated. It's like, guys, I'm gonna be real with you for a second. Hate is a strong word, and I really don't like it when people say I'm such a terrible person and I deserve to die and I'm all gross, when really they're just like, okay, I get it. I understand that you feel that way. But when you constantly butcher that phrase, it means that you're not really doing anything to get yourself help. And if you are getting help, then you're just refusing to take the advice of people who are trying to help you. So I understand that you probably feel a lot of strong emotions and you probably feel like this is true about yourself. But really, you just feel guilty. You don't feel like you hate yourself. You just feel guilty about something that you did or didn't do. So you don't need to repeatedly blame yourself for something, especially if it happened a long time ago. It's just like pretty soon you just seem like a hypochondriac. And my sister is one hell of a hypochondriac. And she's only 6 years old. Preach. Preach. I don't know what my problem is. Okay, did I get all the gray areas? Yes, I did. Now I can move on to green. Regular green. I can't wait for Thanksgiving. My mom, she makes really good Thanksgiving dinners, like the turkey and the mashed potatoes and gravy and the ham and the corn and the green bean casserole. Oh my gosh, I'm torturing myself, guys. Can't hold on much longer, but I will never let it go. That song is called Open Your Heart. It's from an old game called Sonic Adventure. I think it first came out in like 1999. It was like Sonic's first 3D video game, I believe. And a lot of the early Sonic games were like the music was made by a band called Crush 40, and their music and like the lead singer's voice is pretty freaking epic. I don't know. We'll just see. People are talking about Christmas like, come on, we haven't even had Thanksgiving yet. Doesn't Thanksgiving deserve a chance to be obsessed over, or is Christmas just really the only important holiday? Not that I don't like Christmas, it's just that I don't I just like I don't get the same feel from it that I usually do. Mom says that's because I'm trying to view it as a child still, when really I need to learn to appreciate Christmas as an adult. But it's hard to let go of like a feeling that you loved feeling. Like on Christmas, Christmas gave me a special feeling as a child. Just seeing my friends and my family and getting presents and just watching Christmas specials. It gave me a good feeling in my stomach, and you know. My mom went to a Black Friday sale once and she ended up losing some of the skin on her big toe because shoppers were so freaking crazy. So, if you guys don't celebrate Thanksgiving in Ireland, what do you celebrate anything on Thanksgiving Day, or is Thanksgiving Day in a like what's Thanksgiving Day for us in America? Is that just another day for you in Ireland, or do you guys celebrate something else that's like Thanksgiving? I'm really concentrating on drawing this floof hair. The floof hair must be perfect for the floof gods. I know I probably said this already multiple times, but Flippy in my AU, he has a bit of a temper problem. I'm not saying that he's like really grumpy all the time, but when something happens that really ticks him off, he can get really loud and really he cusses quite a bit. He manages to keep his language in check as long as he is calm, and that's why he like meditates still. Oh man, I missed outlining something in gray. Awesome. I mean, I knew that they celebrated Christmas in Ireland because, Oh, he is, huh? Floofy. mm. Please don't take this the wrong way, but for me, like, why do German people German people just sound like they're choking a lot, like. I'm sorry if that's offensive, but don't you just find that weird? I mean, I don't have anything against German accents. German accents are actually pretty cool looking. I mean, sounding. Sorry, I don't know how to talk. I need some water. Aw, man, the frost is gone, but dang, it's cold. Ah, that's better. No, I haven't. I don't really intend to either. You ever seen this YouTuber? I think his name is Brandon Ferris. He has like a southern accent and he's really, really funny. The first video I ever saw of him was his friend dared him to eat spicy ramen and he never really eats spicy food. He made a whole bunch of jokes throughout the video. He made a joke about how when he was using his teeth to open up the flavor packet for the ramen, it was like he had a big, it was already really spicy when he did. Me personally, I don't like spicy food. I don't mind some food that has a little kick to it, like Doritos. But if something is full on spicy, like a ghost pepper, which is the hottest pepper in the world, by the way, it's just way too spicy. Yeah, not really a big fan of spicy food. The semicolon is such an underappreciated what's that called? It's not a symbol. It's like a period and an apostrophe and a quotation mark. What do you call those? What do you call that? What do you call that again? What is an apostrophe in English? An a punctuation. Yeah, a punctuation. Yeah, it's a punctuation. I think yeah, punctuation. Thank you, Crusher Point. Semicolons, a dot and then a little colon underneath it. It's such an underappreciated punctuation. I personally don't use it a whole lot, but when I do, I make sure to savor the moment. As weird as that is to say. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. You don't know when to use it. What's its purpose? Little pink heart nose. Oh, you're so cute, Flippy. Yes, you are. Oh, yes, you're so cute. Don't judge me. We're all fangirls and fanboys here. Oh man, I forgot to outline Flippy's hand. Gosh, darn it. Yes, I know Bendy and the Ink Machine. I even have a Bendy plushie right over there. Hang on, I'll grab it. Oof. Now you're not feeling in the mood for wrestling, Misty? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to wake you. Nailed the landing. Yeah, Flippy is freaking adorable. They're all adorable. Yeah. There's my Bendy plushie. He says hi. No, who's a cute little devil, darling? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. I'm just gonna put him right here. Yes. Okay, now I'm gonna outline Lumpy, who is also very cute. I don't know why. Like, the way I draw Lumpy, people say that the way I draw Lumpy is really cute. I don't know why. It was not really intentional. I was just trying to draw him what he looks like in the show. You know, tall, unlike the other tree friends. He definitely is set apart from the other tree friends because he's really tall. He doesn't have the Pac-Man eyes. He doesn't have buck teeth. He's just a very unique tree friend. I actually kind of did create a crossover with them. My friend Star, she and I, when we were first getting to know each other, we had a thing called the Ask Blog crossover where my Happy Tree Friends AU and her Bendy and the Ink Machine AU, they basically just her characters basically just came to my AU and they became friends. Alice, Boris, and Bendy became friends with Flippy, Flaky, and Flickby, and also Giggles and Petunia. Gosh, it's been a while, huh? Speech bubble. Tracing a speech bubble. Trace time! He does have a brain. It's just that he's not the brightest bulb in the chandelier. But he has had his moments where he's displayed some kind of acts of genius. Like in the episode Chew Said a Mouthful. You know, that episode where Nutty obsesses over a jawbreaker. And Lumpy was like the doctor in that episode. He was actually doing a really good job. Like, he wasn't really messing up. I mean, he did accidentally replace Toothy's eye with what was supposed to be a glass eye. He did replace it with a jawbreaker. But that's about it. He actually didn't do too bad throughout that episode. He was actually doing a very, very good job. And in the episode All Flocked Up, yes, he did die at the end, and a lot of the things he did weren't really all too bright, but he actually did try to do the right thing by trying to get that baby bird back in its nest. And even when he was dangling by the tendons of his arms, he still tried his best to get the baby bird back. So Lumpy is he's not the smartest character, but he has showed moments where he can be a bit brighter than how we see him. And he also has had moments where he does well in being kind. Guys, I think I'm starting to become a hypocrite because if you guys didn't know this, I'm actually a fan of My Little Pony, and I ship Flash Sentry and Twilight, and I know that's not really a very popular ship in the fandom. All the bronies complain about Flash Sentry being a waifu stealer. I don't know if they're just joking about that or if that's actually why they don't really like him that much, but if it is why they don't like him that much, I'm just like, so you don't like this character because he's being because he is a waifu stealer. You don't like this character because he is being paired up with this character and you want to. That's not a legitimate reason to hate a character, in my opinion. In my opinion, a legitimate reason for hating a character is because they are the worst and they are absolutely horrible and they do horrible things. But then again, we also get really attracted to characters like those. And another reason why you should hate a character is because, like, I don't know. I don't know. Just hating on a character because they're being paired with a character that you supposedly have a crush on or something crap like that. I don't think that's a very legitimate reason for hating a character. But actually, I'm not really a big fan of Splendon't in the Happy Tree Friends series because oh, why is my hand shaking? Uh I actually started to not really like him that much because I kept seeing a lot of people pairing him with Flaky, and I really don't like that pairing. And now I just feel like I don't know. I actually think I have other reasons for not really liking Splendon't. It's just that there's not a whole lot to his character. There's not really a whole lot to his character. We only see him in one episode. So all we have is that he's very selfish and arrogant, and he thinks that it should be him and only him that is the number one hero. Not really a whole lot. Meanwhile, with other characters, we've seen other things, even with Lammy, who has only appeared in a few episodes. It's just like, I don't know why people would like him. There's just not really a whole lot about him to like. Maybe if he was in more episodes, I could find some things about him that I like, but since he's such an underdeveloped character, I can't really find anything about him that I find likable. I mean, in the fandom, yeah, there's like stuff about him. A lot of what I've seen in the fandom is where he's just like how he is in canon. He's trying to one up Splendid and be the better hero and make him feel bad because he's right. I haven't really seen a whole lot of divergence in the fandom with him, so I don't know. I just can't really find anything else likable about him. But no offense if you like Splendone. I mean, if you can find something likable about him, go ahead. But like, I don't know. I just don't really understand him. I think we've even seen more divergence with Flickby, and all he does when he's on screen is kill and torture people. But even then, we've seen like different methods with what he does. We've even seen him be outsmarted. I guess it's just the fact that he's very underdeveloped and we don't really see a whole lot of him. It's just like, I don't know. Like I said, I'd be more interested in him and his character if he appeared a bit more often. I can't really be interested in his character if he doesn't appear all that often. Thank you, Queen. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. That is perfect. That is absolutely not a legitimate reason to hate a character. You can hate the ship, but don't hate the freaking characters, man. That is not a legitimate reason to hate a character. It is lazy and stupid. But whatever. Your opinion is your opinion. Go ahead, whatever. I don't care. Still, not a legitimate or very mature reason to hate a character. I like drawing Lumpy in a doctor's coat. Makes him look fancy. I understand why a lot of people don't like Lumpy. And it's pretty ironic because Lumpy is one of the most consistent characters in the show. Like, he is shown he is like he's appeared in just about every single episode, so he's like a very consistent, regular character, and yet a lot of people actually don't really seem to like him. The fandom is not the media. Exactly. Don't boycott media if your hate is based on the fandom. But yeah, I don't know. I guess Splendont is just kind of a rough draft character. I wish they showed him more often. I do wish that they showed him more often because, like, when he first appeared in Mirror Mirror, it seemed like he had potential, but when they stopped making Kapow episodes and they don't even show him in the regular show, it's just kind of upsetting. You have everything going for you, and then all of a sudden you're just like, nope, I'm not going to show this character anymore because, well, whatever. I know. I sometimes I do make the characters look taller than how they are in the show, because in the show, the Happy Tree Friends have these really stumpy looking legs. But I tell you, from the beginning, when I started drawing Happy Tree Friends, that was completely unintentional. I try to make them look as much to the canon as I possibly can, but then I just kind of developed my own style. Plus, proportions and consistent ones, too. That's just not really my strong suit. I've been working on it, but, like, proportions are not really my strong suit, and staying consistent with them and also backgrounds, that's something I need to work on. But that's why I keep practicing. I mean, it took me like 4 to 5 years to get to the level of artistry that I am at right now. Who knows how long it'll take me to get to the level of artistry with backgrounds and consistent proportions. Yes, I know Nemeo. I know who that is. I actually just watched his Halloween episode. It was really good. I really liked the ending when Lumpy went to go comfort Disco Bear because he was being left out of the party. It was really, really nice. I remember his last Halloween episode he made. It was like an episode where Flippy was working at this gas station and Cub and Pop were there. And when there was a blackout, Flippy, flipped. There was carnage going on. I heard that Nemeo does not like the Flippy Flaky ship, but actually he made an episode of that ship. Like, I'm impressed at his willpower to animate something for a ship that he doesn't like. Because I can't do that. Whenever people request something of me, I always leave one important rule. I'm just like, I will not draw a ship that I don't like. I did that once, but only once. It's just like, I can't do that. I'm sorry. I just don't feel comfortable with it. And in return, I will not ask you to draw something you are not comfortable with. It's fair. I would never ask someone to draw a ship that they do not like. I would not do that. It's okay. I understand crappy internet service. My internet service isn't the best. You've probably noticed in past streams that my streams tend to like lag or like something like that because the connection goes bad. That happens. You didn't really miss a lot. You probably missed my my ranting about how what's a legitimate reason to hate a character or not, and also my ranting about how I wish that Splendont was featured in more episodes so I can stop feeling like I only don't like him because I see Flaky Splendont pairing artwork a lot. I'm sorry, I just don't like it. I don't know why. That ship automatically activates my depression. Makes me cry. I don't know why. I am sorry. But I don't know. You didn't miss a whole lot. Well, that's changed a bit. I actually semi-ship Flippy and Splendid. It's kind of grown on me. And also Flaky and Lammy. That ship has also kind of semi-grown on me. Probably because Flaky and Lammy have such a close friendship in my AU that I'm semi-okay with some people shipping them. I think Flaky is kind of eccentric. She seems like a very odd one out, because she's afraid of everything. And oh yeah, I like Sebastian Rodriguez too. But back to Flaky, she's just so afraid of everything, and it kind of makes you wonder if she's one of those people that has so many locks on their door for no reason. I mean, if she's paranoid, then it's probably for a good reason, right? I mean, with the town she lives in, I would be paranoid too. But that doesn't mean that you can't, doesn't mean that you shouldn't go out and play, and she does. But I understand her thought process. She seems to be aware of the town she lives in. She seems to be aware of her surroundings, and that's another thing I like about her character. Yeah, I like your headcanon relationship for them, how they're practically mortal enemies, but they pretend to get along because Mime kind of wants her to, and he's like an uncle to Millie. I think that's very, very interesting. I don't really have anything for Truffles in my AU. He basically just has the same role he does in the show. He just photobombs and makes cameos here and there. But I think it's cool when some people give him personality and such like that. I think that's a I think it's pretty nice, but sometimes it's nice to just leave some things how they are. Some things that in my AU that have not changed. Lumpy is still not always the brightest bulb in the chandelier, and he often says things that don't make sense, and he's often a bit too. Yeah, it helps me too. Flippy has a somewhat feminine side, and he enjoys tea parties and relaxing things like reading a book. That's why I really think that the librarian job was my favorite job for Flippy to have in the show. Flaky is still afraid of chicks. I don't think I'm ever going to get rid of her chick phobia because her chick phobia is kind of adorable. Cuddles is still immature and can sometimes act without thinking, resulting in carnage. Petunia still has OCD and can't stand dirt, and she also can be very sassy. Petunia is actually pretty sassy in the show itself. Like when she was working as a waitress in the episode Change of Heart, I think that's what the episode was called, and she was pretty much glaring at Disco Bear in that scene, and she was just like, "Huh," when he tried to flirt with her. She is very sassy. Even if they don't speak proper English, you gotta admit, they do have, personality traits. Flippy is somewhat feminine and also somewhat still a child, even though he's a retired war veteran. Flaky is Flaky is paranoid. Lumpy is not the brightest bulb. Petunia is sassy. Giggles is girly, and also, it just gives you kind of a reason to invent on their characters a bit more. Interesting, Queen. Interesting. I don't think I don't really think she's scared of all birds. I think she's just scared of ducks or just chicks, like baby chickens. Because in the episode "Take a Hike," she helped a baby bird back into its nest, and she didn't really seem scared of it. She actually seemed to feel really bad for it. So I don't really think she's afraid of all birds. I just think she's afraid of certain birds. I think next time I stream, I should just read you some of my Happy Tree Friend fan fictions. Freaking embarrassing ones. I am so embarrassed. I get so embarrassed over certain things. It's so embarrassing. That's interesting. It would make sense that Flaky would be the only one to remember that they die every day and come back, because that would make sense why she's so paranoid. In my AU, she's very paranoid and shy and scared of everything because she never had the chance or opportunity to settle down and make friends for a long time. She doesn't really have a whole lot of social skills, and that's why she's afraid to get close to people because she doesn't know how to talk to people, really. Because Flaky moved around a lot because her parents' jobs location changed a lot. She was born in Happy Tree Town, but no, I will. Hey, no, no growling. No, doggos, no, bad doggo, bad doggo. Shush! Stop it, Lucy. I'm sorry, I need to pump this dog. Pump! Hi, Lucy, how you doing? Ugh, breath reeks. You will listen to me. You will not bark. Don't you start growling either. I'll pump you. I pumped them. Or rather, I just pumped Lucy. No, I will not have this. I am a woman and I deserve respect. No! What is wrong with you? Friggin' doggos. Yawn. You know what? I'm gonna read you guys a chapter of one of my fan fictions, and then I'll call it a night. Whatever. Screw it. This is my last stream until next week, so I want to make it count for some freaking thing. Alright, let's see. Please do not do this to me. I am a woman, and I have rights. Okay. Ooh, I like this one. It's fun. This one is just a one shot and it's called Awkward Visits. It takes place sometime in the future of my Two Sides of the Same Story universe. Okay. Load faster. Giggles yawned and got up out of bed and started to get ready for her day. She took a shower and got dressed, which consisted of cleaning her pink fur and placing her red bow on top of her head, where a white diamond-shaped face marking trailed down to her heart-shaped nose. She was planning on paying Flaky, her red porcupine friend, a visit today. She wanted to invite her to see a movie with their other friends, Petunia and Cuddles. She walked down the dirt path to Petunia's house and picked her up. Afterward, the two girls decided to get Cuddles next and Flaky last. Along the way to the Yellow Rabbit's house, they were doing their girly chit-chat. "So you and Handy are hanging out again?" Giggles asked. Petunia nodded. "Yeah, we finally decided it was time to start rebuilding our friendship. I mean, it's been 3 months since our reconciliation during that incident. We couldn't continue to be awkwardly staring and standing with each other forever." Giggles smiled happily. She was angry and sad when she found out that Handy had broken up with Petunia. When she found out why he had, she was kind of thankful because, as it turns out, he did it so she could have a chance with Petunia. Giggles was in love with the blue skunk, and she had dated several guys to cover up her feelings because she knew she couldn't possess her. But now she had a chance to. "I'm still gonna wait, though. I need to shake off my shyness," Giggles thought, stealing a glance at Petunia. "Besides, I'm not sure if she'll be comfortable with dating another girl." "Hey, Giggles, Petunia!" Both tree friends looked up when they heard a familiar voice calling their names. Turns out it was Cuddles. He was skateboarding in their direction. He did an ollie before skidding to a stop beside them. "Where are you girls headed?" he asked them with a big smile on his face. "We were actually going to go pick you up, and then we were going to go pick up Flaky and then head to a movie," Giggles answered. "Oh yeah? Well, I was going to go pick up Flaky right now," Cuddles said, stepping off his skateboard and picking it up. "So why don't we go together?" Both Giggles and Petunia nodded in agreement as they headed for Flippy's house, which was where Flaky spent a lot of her time. She might as well have lived there now because she's almost never at her own house anymore. So it didn't surprise Cuddles when he called her earlier and she told him that she had slept over there last night. But since Flippy was her boyfriend, he didn't mind having her over. Honestly, those two were so darn chipper with each other. Pretty much everyone in town said they were the cutest couple in the world. But Giggles disagreed. She thought they were the cutest couple in the universe. Flippy and Flaky were so freaking perfect for each other that it made everyone feel good just being around them. Okay, check back at the chat. Speaking of those two, knock, knock. Cuddles knocked on the door, but no reply came, and the door didn't open either. "That's weird," the skater boy said. "Yeah, I mean, didn't you say you just called her?" Giggles agreed. "And you said she was over here," Petunia added in. Cuddles shrugged and made a quizzical face. "Hey guys." The three tree friends looked over at the window and saw Flaky peeking out of it. Her quills and furs appeared to be damp. "Flaky, can we come in? We want to talk to you," Cuddles called. Red Porcupine Girl nodded. "Go ahead, just make yourselves at home. I'll be out as soon as I'm done showering." She then shivered as a breeze passed by. It was very uncomfortable when you're all wet and then you have cold air blowing on you, so she quickly shut the window and presumably went back to taking a shower. Cuddles gave the girls the signal that it was okay to go in, so they went into Flippy's house. It was mostly shades of white and green on the inside with very nice interior. There were silver armors, shields, war weapons, and so much more. Flippy must have had a lot of fascinations with war items, and that's why his house was decorated that way, even though he used to be in constant regret for joining the army because it brought a great evil onto him. Of course, this evil isn't really evil anymore. Flippy had a split personality problem where every time he hears something that reminds him of war, he flips out. His evil side, Flickby, would then kill and or torture anyone he saw. Keywords had and would. Flickby is not evil anymore. 3 or 4 months ago, Flaky had gotten injured, and as it turns out, Flickby actually has morals. like he can't kill someone who's too injured and or vulnerable. And that code had his hands tied. But to make a long story short, he said he'd take care of Flaky only because he had a grudge to settle with her and he didn't want to have to go through it again. And then he'd kill her. But then the impossible happened. He fell in love with Flaky. Now Flippy shares his girlfriend with Flickby and often thinks of him as a friend as well. Although Flickby still has some leftover pride from his former self, so it's hard to tell how he feels. An anime fan would consider him a tsundere, but at the same time openly voices his opinion on how pretty or beautiful or gorgeous Flaky is. In other words, he does not have a lot of shame, but he still has a lot of pride. Oh, you've read it before, huh? That's impressive. I actually had a lot of fun writing it because it's really fun to write the fluff boy being all sassy. I don't know, sassy dialogue is just really fun to write. Speak of the devil. Giggles saw Flippy standing by his armchair with his back turned. He was wearing only certain parts of his fairly new clothing. His navy blue jeans, brown belt to hold them up, and brown combat boots. His head was moving around, making his dark lime green hair swoosh around, and his hands were on his hips. He appeared to be looking for something. His tank top, maybe? Giggles looked to her left and saw it sitting on the table next to the door. Being nice, she decided to give it to him. She grabbed it and approached the bear. She tapped his shoulder and said, here. The soldier turned around, revealing his yellow eyes. It was Flickby. Giggles gasped and nearly had a heart attack, as she quite literally backed the hell up. Cuddles and Petunia also doubled back in shock. None of them said a word. Flickby sighed emotionlessly and took a few steps closer to them. Giggles backed up one more step and shook with fear. She shifted her shrunken black eyes away and tried not to scream in terror. My tank top, Giggles exclaimed slightly and then looked at the shirtless bear. His chest was very fuzzy and dark lime green like his hair. May I please have my tank top? Giggles tilted her head, but then remembered the piece of clothing she was holding in her trembling paws. He wanted it. Oh, yes, sir, she said, quickly tossing it to him. He caught it and unfolded it. Thanks, was all he said before pulling it over his head and putting it on. Flickby then walked over to the armchair again and picked up a pair of black fingerless leather gloves with spiked knuckles. He slid them on his hands and flexed his fingers. He also picked up some dog tags and put them around his neck. Meanwhile, Cuddles, Giggles, and Petunia were standing perfectly still, not moving, with the exception of their trembling, of course. Flickby sighed out contentedly and brushed his fingers through his fluffy hair. Then he shot the other tree friends a look, and they jumped slightly. I'll be right back. Excuse me, please, he said to them with a slight bow of his head, turning and leaving. No, I'm not really a big Whovian. That's what the fans are called, right? But I do know just a little bit about Doctor Who, like the Daleks and, all that. Giggles and the others watched as he went down the hall and disappeared from sight. Cuddles sighed in relief when he did. Why didn't Flaky tell us he was gonna be here? The yellow bunny yelled. I guess she didn't think we'd mind, Giggles shrugged, walking over to the chair. Well, we do, Cuddles continued, joining his ex in entering the living room. Petunia didn't say anything but followed her friends. They didn't seat themselves as they were afraid what Flickby would say about them just making themselves at home in his house. It was his house too, technically, and they didn't know what his rules were, so they didn't chance it. They heard muffled conversation from down the hall, and it sounded like his and Flaky's voice. They were obviously talking. Even though Flaky keeps insisting Flickby is not going to hurt her anymore, they weren't 100% convinced. Flaky didn't really care. She said she didn't need their approval because she loves who she loves, and that's that. And the others know she's a big girl and can take care of herself, so they left her alone about it once in a while, but still kept an eye on her. Flickby came back into the living room and stood behind them. They were facing away from the soldier, so they didn't see him, until he cleared his throat, causing them to spin around like lightning. So, Flaky will be out in a little bit. She just wants to finish showering is all, he explained. They didn't reply and watched as he sat down in his armchair and casually slumped down. He kept his eerie yellow eyes on the three animals. They stood there awkwardly, shivering at fear and at what he might do to them if they move. We'll sit down, he told them casually, gesturing to the couch beside them. They all made surprised faces and looked around at each other. Us? Petunia asked timidly. Yeah, you guys. Who'd you think I was talking to? The Invisible Man? Flickby joked, adding in a small chuckle afterwards. Heh, that's a good one. None of the tree friends laughed at this. But anyway, go ahead and sit. Cuddles and Giggles looked at each other inquisitively, then awkwardly took a seat on the couch. Petunia hesitated for a moment before doing the same thing, only she sat down slower. Flickby smirked and reached over to the table beside his chair. He picked up a book and opened it up. Cuddles and the others watched his yellow eyes silently glance across the pages. He occasionally turned them and did the same thing. He continued his pattern: glance, turn, glance, turn, glance, turn, and so on. None of the others in the room said anything or made any noise. They simply sat in place and awkwardly shifted in their place every once in a while, too nervous to say anything to the lime green army bear. He stole a glance at the tree friends once or twice before returning to his reading. Petunia was so nervous, and she did not like how nonchalant Flickby was being right now. He was acting like this was normal. He was acting like it was normal for them to come over and for him to act just so casual. Giggles was squirming more than her two friends. She remembered a time when Flickby cut her open and ate her insides, and just the fact that she was sitting in the same room as him made her insides feel all queasy. Cuddles was probably the least nervous of all. Sure, he was nervous, but actually he was more annoyed with the fact that Flaky didn't tell him that Flickby was in control, so his annoyance overrode his fear. Flickby, meanwhile, was just okay with this, and he didn't feel uncomfortable at all. And he knew that they were, and he knew why. But honestly, he was in no mood to care right now, so he just decided to be hospitable to them while they were here. Besides, he felt like maybe this would be an experience he'd like. Cuddles pursed his yellow lips as he tried to fight his shudders and awkward shivers that went down his spine. He felt someone tap on his shoulder, and he looked over to see it was Giggles. "What?" he whispered quietly as possible. "Say something to him," she answered just as quietly. Cuddles' black eyes widened, and then he shook his head back and forth rapidly. He repeatedly mouthed the word no, but Giggles kept nodding her head. "Come on, say something. This is really awkward," the pink chipmunk insisted. "Well, how do you think I feel?" he retorted. "Besides, what would I say?" "Anything." "No, I'm not gonna." "Yes, you are. Do it now." Cuddles finally huffed in surrender and scowled. He looked over at Flickby with bared teeth and saw that he was just reading his book like usual. He turned another page. "Oh boy, this is gonna be so bad," Cuddles thought, clenching his fist. How should he even start? Well, after thinking for a while, he decided. Uh, uh, um, he stuttered. These noises caught Flickby's attention as he looked up from his book and brought it down a little ways from his face. He eyed the yellow rabbit and blinked twice. He tilted his head and slightly and raised one eyebrow while squinting the other. Cuddles gulped as he readied himself. He closed his eyes tight and buried his head in his shoulders while warily waving at him. Um, hi. He did it. He uttered out a few words to him. How would he react? Cuddles opened one eye only at first, then opened both when he saw Flickby still had that peaceful look on his face. He then gave the yellow tree friend a pleasant smile. Hi, he replied back good-naturedly. Cuddles was in shock that he reacted that way. It was so weird to see him act so friendly. "Did you need something, buddy?" Flickby asked, closing his book with one hand. Cuddles' ears perked up at this, but then he shook his head fervently. No, I just wanted to say hi, that's all," he added, trying not to say the wrong thing. Flickby smirked and chuckled. "Oh? Okay," the soldier said simply. Cuddles sighed in relief. That was one of the scariest things he's ever done. Daredeviling at Lumpy's circus, going down water slides, and riding broken roller coasters were nothing compared to that. Spot the references. He tried to calm his racing heart as he leaned against Giggles warily. He sighed out queasily and turned green in the face. Flickby put the book back where he found it and stood up. He stretched his strong-looking bare arms and let out a sigh. He then fussed around with his brown leather belt, which held up his pants. The belt buckle made a clinking sound against the button in the zipper of his jeans. He walked over to the couch and stood in front of the sitting tree friends. "What do you want?" Cuddles stuttered. "You know," Flickby said, placing his fingers in his pockets, leaving only the thumbs peeking out. "You guys seem tense, and I don't need you to tell me why, because I already know. So how about I help you out?" Giggles gulped and scooted back a little. "How? Are you gonna cut out our muscles so we're not tense?" she asked fearfully. "Ooh, that sounds like fun," Flickby answered in sarcastic excitement, clapping his hands together. "But, nah. He then put his hands in his pockets, leaving only the thumbs peeking out again. He forced his weight on his right foot, doing a casual pose. I was actually thinking of getting you guys all bottles of water, the lime green soldier added. Cuddles blinked his eyes in shock along with giggles. Petunia made a quizzical face. Bottles of water, the skunk said slowly. Well, it always helps me when I'm tense, so I figured I'd offer, Flickby explained, shrugging. So, do y'all want some water? They were silent for a moment. No thanks, Giggles answered. I'm good, Petunia added. Um, sure, Cuddles finished. Flickby smiled wildly with his sharp teeth and clapped with glee. Great, I'll be right back, he told the three animals. With that, he exited the room and went into his kitchen. When he was out of their range, Petunia spoke first. Okay, he's super duper weird. Cuddles and Giggles looked over at her. Well, you're not wrong, Petunia. This is out of character for him, the latter agreed. Is it really? I mean, he's not the same guy he was 4 months ago, Cuddles argued. That's true, but he still has that smart soldier complex, I'm guessing, so I'm sure he can tell how we feel right now, Petunia said. I mean, come on, he's so, I don't know. All right. Thank you, Bunny Balloon. Bye, and good night. Giggles nodded. She was totally weirded out with this new behavior. At the same time, she was glad that he wasn't murdering them. After the whole getting her insides eaten situation, she was happy to know that he would never do it again. At the same time, though, she wasn't sure how to feel about the new him. It was so awkward. Speaking of which, Flickby stepped back into the living room and he was holding 2 bottles of water. Hey, Blondie, he said, catching Cuddles' attention. Catch. With that, he tossed one of the bottles of water to the yellow rabbit. Cuddles caught it easily. Flickby gave him a thumbs up and a rambunctious smile. Nice, he said, going to the chair to sit down again. Cuddles made a confused face, but then did a half smile. Thanks, he stuttered. No problem, Blondie, the green bear said. Cuddles made a quizzical face at the nickname he was addressed with. He didn't hate it, but at the same time, he was kind of weirded out by it. Obviously, he was calling him Blondie due to his yellow color. I'm coming out, a female voice called down from the hall. It was Flaky, obviously. Okay, hun, thanks for letting us know, Flickby answered back. Petunia's eyes widened at the pet name he addressed Flaky with. This was too much for her. She stood up abruptly and threw her arms in the air. Okay, what the hell is with you? She demanded. Flickby's yellow eyes widened for a second as he stared back at the blue skunk. Why are you so calm right now? You're acting like this is just normal. What's the logic? Petunia ranted. Giggles stared up at her crush with wide eyes. Petunia, she whispered, yelled, tugging on her arm. No, the blue tree friend retaliated. Why are you so nonchalant right now? It's creepy. Flickby just sat there with a bored expression on his face. Why are you yelling at me? He asked. Petunia opened her eyes and made a confused face. Huh? She answered meekly. Flickby stood up and casually put his fingers in his pockets again, leaving just the thumbs peeking out. I said, why are you yelling at me? I'm not yelling at you, am I? He repeated, shrugging his shoulders. Petunia's mouth gaped and her eyes widened. She stayed perfectly still for a while. Cuddles sucked air in through his teeth and breathed it out. Awkward, he whispered in a sing-song voice. Flickby sighed and approached Petunia calmly. She gulped and was about to back away when she remembered she had nowhere to go. He got closer to her until she automatically backed up and fell onto the couch again. The soldier towered over her creepily, his eerie yellow eyes closed halfway. His face held no expression or emotion. Petunia screwed her eyes shut and bared her teeth, whimpering in fear. I'm sorry. Her eyes shot open when she heard him say that. She lifted her head up slowly and What? Was all she could say. I said I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make you all feel uncomfortable. I'm just not sure how I should approach you all. He scrunched his hair with his fingers nervously. I used to kill you guys so much, so I also felt a little awkward at first, but now I see you guys felt way more awkward than me. It was very idiotic of me to not realize that sooner. I'm truly sorry. The friends could not believe what they were hearing. Flickby, former murdering psychopath, sadist, and cannibal, was apologizing, and there was an emotion in his eyes. Guilt. Emotion? Him? That's impossible, right? Flickby, are you okay? The green soldier turned around and saw a beautiful red porcupine standing in the entrance to the hallway. It was Flaky, his girlfriend. He sighed and put on a warm smile. Hey, Flaky Flakes, he greeted her, ignoring her question. Did you have a nice shower? Petunia calmed herself as Flickby stepped away from her and approached Flaky. Yeah, I'm sorry that I took so long, the red tree friend apologized. Flickby shrugged and smiled wider at her. She returned his affections with a warm smile of her own, her cheeks turning pink. Cuddles stood up and waved at Flaky. Hey, Flaky, how are you? The yellow rabbit laughed. She looked over and saw her friend. I'm great, and I'm ready to go to the movies with you guys. Giggles and Petunia regained their pep as well and smiled happily. Did Flickby treat you guys well? I hope so, because he was kind of nervous about you guys coming over, Flaky explained. Petunia made a blank face. He was nervous? She thought in disbelief. Cuddles looked over at Flickby for a moment and saw him lower his head so that his hair covered one of his yellow eyes. Then the rabbit smiled. Thank you, Miles. I'm glad you like my live streams. Yeah, he did. The others looked at Cuddles with shocked expressions, even Flickby. Yeah, he was really nice to us. He gave me water to drink, and he was so gentlemanly. Right, guys? Then he turned to Giggles and Petunia, who looked at each other, then back at Cuddles. After a while, they both nodded in agreement. Yeah, thanks for being so hospitable, Flickby. Giggles beamed. Petunia was silent for a while before giving in. Yeah, thanks, she said simply, trying not to smile. Flickby's mouth gaped before he smiled a toothy smile and his yellow eyes sparkled. You're all quite welcome, he replied, brushing his dark lime green hair away from his face. Flaky smiled and embraced the flustered soldier next to her. He blushed right in front of everyone. It was so weird seeing him with a red face and a smile. Not a blood-curdling murderer one, but an actual, genuine smile. Later. I'll see you after the movie, okay? Flaky told him. Flickby did a thumbs up and waved goodbye to his girlfriend and her friends. Flaky beamed at him lovingly and followed her friends down the path. As soon as they were out of his sight, the bear turned around and went back inside. He went over to his couch and flopped down on it, putting his arms behind his head in a carefree way. Hey, Flickby. The familiar voice caught his attention, and he looked to his side to confirm it was who he thought it was. It was Flippy. He was transparent, of course, and he was sporting the same attire as his doppelganger. The same green tank top, black fingerless leather glove with spiked knuckles, navy blue jeans, brown combat boots, and dog tags. And of course, the same lime green fur, dark lime green hair, and chest fur was seen as part of his appearance. They basically were like mirror reflections of each other. The only differences they bared from each other were the eyes and teeth. Hey, Flips, how are you? Flickby greeted to him. I'm awesome. And you? He answered. I'm alright. I just sent Flaky on her way to the movies. Yeah, I was watching. Of course you were. How could you not have been watching? Flippy chuckled and patted his alter ego on the shoulder. I'm very proud of you for handling yourself very well around my friends. Good job, man, the transparent bear complimented. Flickby chuckled proudly and rubbed two of his fingers together. Piece of cake, dude. Nothing to it, he boasted. Flippy rolled his black Pac-Man eyes sarcastically because he knew that his doppelganger was nervous about this before it happened. But he was proud of him, so he let him brag about how cool he was at handling himself around someone other than him or Flaky. He laid his head on and Flick. Sorry, I don't know. I spelled this wrong. He laid his head on Flippy's shoulder and closed his eyes. The yellow-eyed soldier shifted his attention down to Flippy for a brief second before accepting his affection. He had long ago accepted Flippy as his brother and enjoyed receiving hugs from him, and he himself had given Flippy affections of his own. Usually they comforted each other by giving hugs, holding hands, brushing hair out of each other's face, and wiping tears away. Both of the brother-like tree friends fell asleep in each other's arms happily. All right, that's the end of it. What'd you guys think? I know a lot of you probably got bored, but for those of you who listened, thank you, Floor. That means a lot to me. My throat is raw and sore from talking. Thank you, Crusher Point. I'm glad you guys liked it. I had a lot of fun working on it. Oh, look, I forgot that this belongs in here. Anyway, it's like 1:19 in the freaking morning. Oh, whoopsies. Sorry, computer. No, man, just draw Draw what you want to draw. No one's stopping you, man. I'm gonna go now, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll make sure to see you guys next time I stream. And yeah, peace out, my 25ers. Thanks for the positive feedback on the fan fiction. You can actually go read it on my Wattpad account. Yeah, I like that too. Sometimes it just kind of takes an up-in-your-face performance to realize things are not always what they seem. My throat is raw and sore. I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.